many people we got there? Another mail or
606.
yep, we get ready to get started. Melanie Mail, can you do you mind cutting these up for me?
Need scissors?
I do. I come from D. I mean, from here.
Go ahead, I got it.
Okay, I don't know who. Okay, thank
All these
you.
names.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, we ready? Good morning, good morning. Good evening, everyone. It is now 6:06 and we're going to call the meeting to order. We're going to have our prayer from Chaplain Bailey. And if we can all bow our heads.
Father, we just want to thank you. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for bringing us through another year. We thank you, Father, that you have put extension onto our lives. How you just kept us, how you just keep waking us up, standing us up, so we can look up and say, thank you, Jesus. Father, as this meeting go forth, anything that is not like you, we ask you right now.
Amen. Thank you, Chaplain Bailey, for that. We're going to get into our president's report. I'm sorry, we're going to do roll call. Myself, Kim Jackson, president of the 11th Precinct Police Community Relations Council. I'm not sure if I have my treasurer, Mr. Wire. Unfortunately, I can't see everybody. So I'm not sure if I have Mr. Wire available, but he is our treasurer. And then we also have who is out ill, and she's been out ill for a while, which is our vice president. We do have one of the officers to take minutes because we have not had minutes taken in a while. So they are taking the minutes for us, and we should have some minutes for next month. That's what we're going to work on now. I have my president's report. I just want to take a few minutes, just a few minutes of silence for all the family and the friends and the dignitaries that we lost in 2020, and just praying for a better 2021 and a healthier new year. So if we can all just take just a couple of seconds to bow our heads. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Just been a hard year, but I do want to say, and I have not said it to you all, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I hope you had a good holiday season, a happy and safe new year. And thank you for attending the meeting tonight, either on social media or Zoom. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. If I have any of my officials on, city council, commissioners, state reps, if you can either identify yourself or make a move so I can see you, and we would like to acknowledge you. What happened? Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm trying to see who all has joined. I can't see everybody. Okay. There we go. Okay, I see our state rep. Thank you so much, Cherie Tanadar. You can unmute yourself.
Good evening, everybody. How is everybody? It's good to see the whole community here.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, Ms. Jackson, thank you for organizing this event. And I want to share with you that my session, my first day of my session would be tomorrow. So we take an oath and we start tomorrow. We are going to focus on the pandemic response, getting vaccine as fast as possible to those who want the vaccine. We're also very, very concerned about security at the state capitol. as we meet. You know, we've had some threats and we have some issues. So that's another thing that we are focusing on. But we will keep you all posted through our coffee hours. We want to do that at least once a month, and then we will sending out emails to you. So please subscribe to my emails so we can send you and keep you updated. But I just wish everybody a safe next few weeks and months. And if you can take the vaccine, please do. It's available now for many of the people can take that. So please take the vaccine if you can.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I see Mr. Wells. Hi, sir. Take yourself off of mute.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam President. Good evening to everybody. Good afternoon, well, it's evening. Just want to say from the commission office, she sends greetings as she always do. And I don't think anything is new. We know that they did fill the position of Commissioner Ware, Jules Ware, that position has been filled. So just wish everybody a happy and a safe new year.
Do we know who filled her position?
Jonathan Kinlock.
Who?
Kinlock, Jonathan, I think his name Jonathan Kinlock.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate it, Mr. Wells.
Okay, thank you. No other questions?
Are there any questions for Mr. Wells? But we can always come back too. So if you aren't able to...
I'll be here. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have Commissioner Birch on the line? Is she available?
She's muted.
Okay, can you unmute yourself, Ms. Birch?
It looks like she's talking, but she's muted.
Okay. Okay.
I did, but it's not going through. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you fine.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Glad to be on the Zoom call. What we've been doing in the community, we've been able to give out Goodfellow boxes to many children in the 9th Precinct and number 11. So we're still out there on the trail meeting the needs of people, and just want to say everybody be very careful and obey the guidelines of social distancing and to wear your mask.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Do I have any other commissioners or council members or state reps on the phone? Okay, if I missed you, we can come back to you, or please give me a signal so that that I can make sure you get acknowledged. I also would like to acknowledge our pastors that are on the line. We always appreciate them attending our meetings. So if the pastors can take themselves off mute, and we can at least acknowledge yourself and tell us what church are you with as well.
I'm Ori Peterson, and I'm the pastor at Lomax Temple on DeQuinter Street.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any news that you would like to, or information you would like to provide to us?
Our church is still providing food to the pantries through our pantry here, and we helping regarding our zip code. So those are some of the things that we are still doing, and still making masks and handing them out as well. So we got a couple of things and initiatives that we're continuing to do for individuals in our area. Okay,
awesome. Thank you so much. I see Pastor Griffin.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I am Pastor Yvette Griffin. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. Pilgrim Baptist Church is located at 18474 Binder, and we are still distributing food every week, every Thursday from 10 to 2. You may see them lining up on Ryan Road around 8 o'clock, and then they go into the neighborhoods, but there's hundreds of cars. We just want to say, if you know anyone who needs food, If they want to get in their vehicles and come, they're welcome. Also, if they don't have a vehicle, we do have walk-ups. They can come and either push a buggy or walk up, and we'll provide them with food. That's every Thursday, Food for the Soul. And we partner with Forgotten Harvest and other partners, and we have many community partners, and we want to thank them. Commissioner Burt's is one, and we have different churches that are partnering with us as well in terms of volunteers. So, and then we have people coming from the neighborhood, the community, our district, as well as Detroit, Highland Park, Hamtramck, Sterling Heights, Warren, Troy, let's see, Hazel Park, Inkster, Grosse Pointe. So we want to say thank you all.
Thank you, and we appreciate what you're doing as well. I know you've been doing that for quite a while, and I have came up there a couple of times, and I've seen the lines, and it's definitely incredible to see. But then the way it's kind of sad that we have so many people that are hungry. So
yes,
been there and seen that, so I can say thank you for what you're doing. We really appreciate it, along with Pastor Pat Peterson as well. So thank you guys for that.
Yes, we just want to make sure wear your mask when you come.
Absolutely. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Do I have any other pastors on the line? Okay. And then, like, again, if I did miss you, please just give me a little nudge so that I can make sure that you get acknowledged. And like I said, we have one of the officers that are taking the minutes tonight, because we do not have our secretary, Dorna Russo. She is out on medical. She's doing okay. Just really don't have any further information, and she's doing okay. I will have Sergeant Spruce or one of the MPOs talk about our Valentine's Day Zoom party. We'll talk about that in a few. Also, I don't know, there was an email that was sent out. I'm not sure if everybody got the email or not, but I wanted you guys to know what was going on. The COVID vaccine has the sign up started Monday for scheduling an appointment. They are very strict on you showing up on time. If you come in 1 minute past your time, they are not going to see you. They're holding it because there's so many people. So they're really holding tight. So right now they're doing workers have to have proof of employment. They have to have a badge, a pay stub, something, so that we know that they're an essential worker in the city. They're looking for 75 and older, and they want proof of residency. So of course your driver's license, utility bill, something of the sort. So they are looking for that. And DPD and DDOT employees to be vaccinated over the next week, or other city departments to follow. So please just make sure. Now I'm going to give the number out so that we can share this number as well and we'll put it in the group chat as well. But the number here, you can schedule an appointment Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The number is 313-230-0505. And this will be down at the TCF Center. And what they're doing is they're doing a good neighbor ride to an appointment. So if somebody 65 and over brings a person that's 75 or older, they will be able to get vaccinated as well. Okay. And we will make sure that number gets in the group chat. And that is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yes, I see State Rep Tanadar. I see his hand up. Yes, sir.
I believe they extended that call hours to 8 p.m. Please confirm that, but I think they did extend it.
Okay, I will confirm that because I did get this update. Well, I got it Monday, so I will definitely verify that. That would definitely be helpful if they did, because that's kind of a short window, but I know they got things to do, but I would definitely verify that and I will share that information with you guys.
Thank you.
Let's see. Wayne County Treasurer's Office, they're doing a administrative show cause hearing information session. I got that email today, and what it is doing is informational only. They're having them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the hours vary. On Tuesdays, they're from 10 to 11, and on Thursdays, the meetings are 2 to 3. If you guys don't have or did not get it, I can forward it and share this email if you guys like. If you do, just put it in a group chat and then I'll know to send out an email to you, because I just don't want to send it out to everybody because some people do get the information already. So just let me know if you would like that information, but it's a good meeting. They're doing it by Zoom, and it's an effort to, to get the resources out so people will know what's going on. I see Commissioner Birch's hand up. You unmute yourself, Ms. Birch. Yep, there
Can you hear me now? Okay,
Yep.
the same complaint we put in last night on DeQuinder, Ms. Jackson. So could you alert the commander if she's in the office or whomever can send out a squad car about the people racing and doing the donut? That's at 7 Mile between 7 and State Fair on DeQuinder.
Yep, Commander's on the line.
Well, would you please send someone, because they've started earlier than they did yesterday. Right while I'm on here, they just zooming right there, Ms. Jackson.
Tell them about Flint got that sign and they needed to pass it now before the weather break.
So, Ms. Jackson, I know you haven't got to that part yet. I just want to say we've got to address all of this lawlessness that they're doing, and there are solutions, but yet we haven't been heard. And I'm saying the community hasn't been heard as far as the core group, who is Dr. Griffin, Reverend Brewer, Forsyth, and Pastor Oreo has been with us, but we can't keep everybody in our group. But Ms. Jackson, it affects you and our 3rd district of these people racing up and down the street. And we've been trying to get to the proper people. Yes.
And the commander's on Zoom, so she may be able to answer your question, Ms. Birch.
Okay, it's about answering my question. Are they sending a car, Ms. Jackson?
But I can't answer that. I can't answer that. That's why I'm going to refer you to the commander. I can't say if they're going to send a car out or not. But commander's on Zoom, so she'll be. I see Hill's hand. Up. Yep. Hold on. I'm gonna go down here to Officer Hill, Miss Birch.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, take yourself off mute, Eric.
Okay, hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Commissioner Birch, I'll address that. I'll talk to the desk and I'll give you a call, okay? Commander is waving to be unmuted.
Yep, there she go.
Hi, can you send a car to 7 Mile and DeQuinder? They are, I'm getting, as we speak right now, that they are doing donuts in the street. And, okay, and can you give me a call back and let me know if you find anything there, please? Okay, thanks. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, well, Miss Birch, your question has been answered and we got a car coming out.
Ms. Jackson, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
I just want to know, does anybody in the precinct know the report that we made last night through Sergeant Muhammad? We made the call through him and Sergeant Austin of them doing what I'm reporting now. My whole concern is that we reported this before, but it seems not to be allowing, I don't know what's going on, is that they don't stop or at least decrease it. But it's like Ms. Jackson, and I'm talking to the police officers, it starts right back up. So what are we really doing to address this? And I'm glad that State Rep Sri is on the line because some of our members were on his ceremony yesterday, his swearing in. So we're hoping that he's going to be able to help us address the crime where we do have solutions in other cities like Flint, how they address these people doing what we're experiencing over here in District 3.
Okay, so I can, Commander, would you like to make any comments?
I will. She directed it to you, Ms. Jackson. So what I will do is, like you can hear, I did make the phone call to my precinct right now for them to send a car in the area. I was not aware that Commissioner Birch had a conversation with Sergeant Austin or Sergeant Muhammad yesterday, because Sergeant Muhammad does not work nights anymore. He works the day shift. So he works 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Sergeant Austin now works 4 p.m. to midnight. So again, this is the first that I'm hearing that there was a concern. So did they call me? No, but they are in position to handle it. Oftentimes, when something like that happens, it's instantaneous. So it can sometimes happen in the moment. And unfortunately, by the time we get vehicles over there, it has stopped. So, but we will do what we can to try to put it on special attention. And I will yield back.
Thank you, Commander. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, that was for the information. It's an administrative show cause hearing and informational session. And on Tuesdays, it's from 10 a.m. to 11. And on Thursdays, it is from 2 to 3. And they're doing it, I see they had one today at, this morning. The next one is January 14th. And that's on a Thursday. So that's going to be the 2 to 3. And then they have them on the 19th. That's on a Tuesday, which is 10 to 11. And they have the 21st, 26th, 28th, the 2nd, and the 4th of February. And they will only be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they are for an hour. Yep, and it's just informational sessions, for people to, since nothing's done in person anymore, this is to, show people that resources are still available. Okay. And also, I want you guys to be aware, I did receive a couple of emails and text messages about a virus that if it says, don't do anything on your phone or your computer that says Trump's arrested. They say it's a virus and it will drain everything you have on your phone, computer, tablet, wherever you open. So please be careful when you get these emails. I had the email come across on my phone. I did not open it because I knew about it, but it is out there and it's going around. So just to be mindful, guys, please be careful when you open up stuff, because it's to get all your personal information. Okay. Next, we can go right into our police report. Okay. You did? Okay, yeah, I did see Mr. Wire on.
Okay, sorry about that. I was on the phone with sorry. So circling back to that drag racing issue again, I did just speak with Sergeant Austin. He did send a scout car over there to the area last night. Again, by the time they got there, it had ceased, but he will give that area some more special attention, and we'll see if we can get some ticket writing or something over there to try to quiet that down some.
Thank you.
So I am happy to report. I would like to let everybody know I'm extremely proud of the 11th precinct and how we ended the year of 2021. We were the only precinct out of all the precincts who finished 2020 with a reduction in homicides. We had an 18% reduction. We had a 4% reduction in non-fatal shootings, and we had the highest non-fatal shooting closure rate at 54%.
Wow.
That is very, very unheard of. I went back a couple of years. I researched back to like 2018, and what I found was no other precinct had checked all three of those boxes. If they had the highest non-fatal shooting closure rate, then they probably ended the year up in homicides or the other, or if they ended the year say down in homicides and down in non-fatal shootings, they didn't have the highest non-fatal shooting closure rate. So I am uber proud of the 11th precinct. The men and women there, I gave them a goal. And when I tell you it was a concerted effort out of every man and woman there, they sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of overtime, which is time obviously taken away from their families to ensure that the 11th precinct is safe. And with numbers like this, we have done well. And those aren't the only numbers I want you to have. We ended the year with a 39% reduction in sexual assaults, a 16% reduction in robberies, a 42% reduction in burglaries, a 27% reduction in larcenies, and a 4% reduction in motor vehicles. So overall, when you average everything out, we had a total of a 14% reduction in crime in our precinct. And, you know, I'm writing them up for a unit award for the entire precinct. And I have to give, I want to let you know something else that we did, because we do a lot of other things that you're not aware of. So Truth Nightclub, Truth Strip Club has been a thorn in our side for those who live over there in that area. But due to the efforts of the detectives, the NPOs, and myself, and the officers, we were able to get them shut down for 45 days. So Truth Nightclub doors are locked right now.
Thank goodness.
We had to go through a 3-day hearing, and I want to give a special shout out to D-Rob, because he was instrumental in gathering all of the information. And for those of you who have to sit through those hearings, it's pretty much like being in a little mini court. And we were successful. You know, we were trying to get a year, but we took the 45 days as a win, because every little bit helps. They've had shootings up there where one of the bouncers shot someone. They were beating people up. You know, the precinct is a decent size. And I apologize as the commander, because we try to do everything we can to make everybody happy. And it's very evident that sometimes we fall short, but it's not because we don't try. And it's evident with these numbers that we try very hard. And again, being the only precinct, and I went back and researched this because, again, I wanted to know just how important this was. And for one precinct to check all three of those boxes at the end of the year, I went back as far as 2018, and it had not been done. So 11th precinct, is it crime free? No. Do we have some of the same issues as the other precincts? Absolutely. But it's clear through these numbers that we are not the same level as the other precincts. And I can sit here as the commander. For those of you who know, I've been here a few years now, and our mission is clear, and it is to keep the neighborhood safe. I want you to know we do everything that we can. And I hope that you are just as proud of this 11th precinct as I am. Because again, to have numbers like this, a 54% closure rate for non-fatal shootings, we came in higher than homicide closures. They work hard. And I'm extremely proud of them. Again, we accept your criticisms, but we do appreciate it too. And it's my job as the commander to let you know how hard they are working, because they work extremely hard to try to satisfy and to meet every citizen's need. And I thank you.
Thank you, Commander, for that report. Appreciate it. Always great to hear great news. Yes, I see State Rep Cherie Tanner, our hand up. Would you like to take yourself off mute?
Yes, very quickly, I want to thank Commander Slappy and her entire precinct and the men and women who work there and who are the heroes every day. So I thank for their contribution to keeping us safe. In regard to the nightclub, a question that comes to my mind is, do we know any statistics about human trafficking or underage prostitution in our district?
Do we know about human trafficking?
Human trafficking or prostitution within the district.
That's not that true.
Huh?
As far as connections, we haven't made any connections to that.
Okay.
It's just a lot of the crime.
Okay. So what they're saying,
we haven't made a big connection as it relates to the human trafficking in the 11th precinct. I'm sure if it was to a huge magnitude, someone would definitely have brought it to our attention. Even with, the nightclubs, it still hasn't been brought to our level that they're even doing it through the nightclubs at this point. But it will definitely be something that's on our radar just in case it happens, because we don't want that to occur in our precinct.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
yes, I see Commissioner Birch hand up. Okay, take yourself off mute.
This is to Ms. Jackson and the commander, 11th Precinct. It seems to be that sometimes one person, which I'll identify myself, that what you call complain. I want it to be factual that numbers can be adjusted to whatever you want them, Commander. But all that you said about far as what the 11th Precinct has done, we, the community, have seen the results of this precinct in when it was available to NPOs, was not just Officer Robinson. There were all of them that we could call them and they would answer. That does not happen now. So we don't want to debate back and forth, because those that are listening know that. But if they don't have that courage to speak up, it's just like what's going on in Washington. You just got to tell the facts that this area is full of crime that doesn't seem to be getting better. A citizen shouldn't have to continue to call about the same issues and there's no solutions to it. Many times, Commander, I've shared with you crime that you weren't aware of. And I said, did you know so-and-so? You said, no, ma'am, I didn't know that. So I feel like in previous commanders, they knew everything, practically what was going on in their precinct. But sometimes we can't reach you. Sometimes we cannot reach the NPOs. That's when Mrs. Birch, as a commissioner, I go to AC Bedison or I may go to DC Bryant. So I've been told by her that we need the citizens to help us to locate these criminals. There are too many, what do you call those things? Crack houses. You got crack houses all over our area. Why aren't they completely shut down? That's not progress. When you say we go back and we go back, that's not solving anything. And I don't know why the other people, like I said, don't speak up. If they're on this Zoom call, why they don't speak up, but complain, Commander, when they call the precinct, nobody answers, or they say, I'll get back with you, and they don't. Now, why they don't speak up again, I don't know. But I know this is not, nobody is perfect, and the precinct sure is not. But I'm accustomed to the leadership, ma'am. I am not disrespectful at all. Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Thank you.
Well,
Absolutely.
let me say this. There's a time and place for everything. And clearly this is not, I'm not going to really respond to that because one thing I do know is anybody who ever calls me, I answer my phone 24 hours a day. And I will yield it at that. This is not the time and the place, Ms. Jackson, for that. And I'm not going to allow the good work of the men and women in my precinct to end on a negative note. So I'll leave it like that, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Mel, do you want to address the Valentine's Day? We're going to talk about real quick before we get to our guest speaker this evening. We're going to talk about the Valentine's Day Zoom event for our seniors. I don't have a flyer. I didn't get a flyer. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Okay, good evening, everybody. So as you know, we're doing everything on Zoom. So this year we're gonna do something a little bit different for our seniors. As you can see, it's posted up there. We're gonna do a annual senior event. It's gonna be a high tea Valentine's Day soiree. It will be held Friday, February 12th, between the hours of 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. We are requesting that everyone who wants to participate, please pre-register. That way we can get your gift baskets to you before the event. We have 50 spots available and you must register to attend. So it's for ages, is it 55 and over? 55 and over. So we need you to be registered by February 5th. So everything will go as planned and hope to see everyone there. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Officer Mel. Yes, I see Commander's hand. Yes, Commander.
Regarding the Valentine's Day virtual dance, so we want the ladies to wear your best hats because there will be a hat and the best tea set contest. So come looking fabulous. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, with COVID, we're trying to think outside the box since we won't be able to do in person our normal senior 11th Precinct Valentine's Day dance. So I think it should be nice. It's high tea, so look fabulous. There's going to be music. I believe you will be getting a little gift bag of goodies for you to have that will guide you through during the virtual Valentine's Day dance. So it's going to be fun. But again, break out them hats, look pretty, look fabulous, and we'll be judging the best tea set and the best hat. And I'm coming to win, so y'all better bring it now.
Thank you, Commander. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get to our guest speaker now. We have Mr. Willie Donwell. He's the administrator of Board of Review. He has some good information he's going to share with us tonight and that you guys can share with the community as well. Good evening, Mr. Darnwell, and thank you for attending the meeting this evening.
Good evening, everyone. I really appreciate being here this evening. You see, I'm in the office still working, trying to help provide services to all you wonderful citizens here in our city. Commander Slappy, one, I have to thank you for me really not knowing you. I don't know you because I have not had an encounter with you or your precinct. So to me, that means that you and the officers are doing your job because I haven't gotten to know you.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much. We appreciate your compliment.
Yeah. So again, my name is Willie Donwell. I'm the administrator for the Detroit Board of Review. The Board of Review is a 9-member body appointed by City Council to hear your property tax appeals and concerns. We know that home ownership truly is the lifeblood of this city. Without homeowners, the city doesn't survive. The homeowners actually handle and take care of all the other businesses that are actually in this city. They depend on homeowners to be here. And it is our responsibility as the Board of Review to hear your property tax appeal concerns. We are not the assessor. We do not create the assessment role, but we do sit as an independent body to hear your property tax appeals and concerns. And the reason why I'm kind of a little redundant on that is that we're going into the phase of the appeal process, which is the March Board of Review. It's the only time of the year in which you can actually appeal your assessment prior to taxation. Beginning the 1st of February, we'll start the assessor review process. The city of Detroit is only one of a few communities in the entire state that offers the assessor's review process, where you can actually file your appeal with the Office of the Assessor, and you can get a better understanding of how your property is assessed and ultimately will be taxed. I believe that any property owner, no matter what type of property class it is, residential, commercial, industrial, I don't care if it's cell phone towers, whatever it is, I believe that they should go through the process at least once, because going through the process will allow you to understand how your property is being taxed. And just to give you some simple concepts of things that can occur in the valuation process of your property. So let's say through the course of the years, you had a garage and the garage was torn down. Now, the Office of the Assessor manages close to 400,000 parcels on the assessment roll. And they do get out to review properties and they do a pretty good job of it. But sometimes there are just things that they don't know unless the property owner tells them. So that missing garage that used to be there actually goes directly against the taxable value. It will be considered a loss against the taxable value of your property, meaning that it could adjust your tax bill down. But because maybe you didn't know that the loss of your garage actually affected your tax bill, you really thought, well, you know what, garage was torn down, so this is not going to mean anything. It actually does. Also, as it relates to your property itself, the condition of your property, if there's a structural defect, if there are things that directly affect the property's value that would go against what may be considered the usual selling price of comparable properties in the area, those are the kind of things that you want to talk about with the Office of the Assessor to make sure that your property is in line with all the other properties in the area and how it's going to be assessed and ultimately taxed. You also want to make sure that your record card is correct. Do they have the right square footage? Is your property being assessed at, 1,500 square feet and not 1,600 square feet? Again, or 1,500 square feet, is it being assessed at 1,500 and not 1,520? That extra 20 feet that I'm talking about might not seem like a lot, but when you start talking about $80 to $100 per square foot, when the calculation of the assessment is being done, it can add up pretty quickly. And I'm not saying it to say that, there are erroneous calculations and there's problems with the assessment roll. What I'm saying is that you want to make sure, because over the course of time, things change. There was an addition that may have been on the property that's no longer there. Maybe you changed the porch from it being larger to smaller. Again, maybe you had a garage that is no longer there. And then, you know, the simpler things, the market conditions themselves. You know, Detroit is a just in terms of properties on an ongoing basis. Unfortunately, you know, District 3 has been hit pretty hard when it comes to folks that have left those properties and leaving them unattended and abandoned. And it has definitely affected the value of other properties in the area. We call it external obsolescence, things that impact values in the property value in the area. So, you know, we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to be heard in terms of understanding and finding any possible resolution in the valuing of your property. We want you to have a tax bill that is correct and true. And the only way I believe that we can get that done is for you to, if nothing else, appeal the assessment and get an understanding of how you're being assessed and ultimately what your bill is going to be. I will be honest, for the majority of us, it's probably not going to change a lot. But reality is you will have a better understanding of how your tax bill is created, because you, the property owner and the homeowner, need to be comfortable in terms of the amount of property taxes that you are paying. I know there's a lot of discussions and a lot of conversations about a lot of things being said over some previous years. You know, I'm going to let all the officials and all the folks who have to deal with that, I'm going to let them deal with that. That's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to make sure that if you appeal your assessment, that you are heard and a proper value is placed on it during that appeal process. The other couple of things that I want to mention is the opportunities that exist for some of our homeowners who may not know that certain types of exemptions exist. Number one, a principal residence exemption. Oftentimes, a lot of people don't know that you really don't have to pay that 18 millage points for the state education portion on your tax bill because if you own and occupy your property as your principal residence, meaning it's the house in which you live, the 18 millage points regarding state education can actually be removed. Some time ago, there was an adjustment based upon the Headley Amendment and Proposal A, where which are two separate things, but ultimately they kind of work together to make this happen. If you remember, some time ago, our sales tax went from 4% to 6%. That was part of the adjustment in which the compensation or adjustment, we'll call it, where the principal residence exemption was being put in place to reduce the cost for homeowners. So I want homeowners to understand that it's not that you're getting that reduction and it goes away. It was just picked up somewhere else. And that's kind of really the way taxes work. You know, we still have the bills and the debts to pay. It's just where is the money going to come from to take care of those obligations? We still have to have police. We still have to have fire, ambulances, and all those things that to allow our city to function. But at the same time, we only want you to pay your fair share. That's why there is a border review, an equalization process, and a process in which you should be able to feel comfortable that the value of your property is going to be what people that work for the city is going to help deliver to you in terms of what you feel fair share that you should be paying. The other couple of things I want to mention in terms of exemptions is for our veterans. Veterans exemption, Public Act 161. It was signed into law in 2013, and it was a change to MCL 2117B, which allows for veterans under this particular act having either 100% service-connected disability or special adaptive housing or considered individually unemployable, simply one of the three, can be exempt from property taxes on their homestead. It is not associated with any type of income or anything other than the determination that is made by the Department of Veteran Affairs. It is called the Disabled Veterans Exemption. And again, either 100% service-connected disability or special adaptive housing or considered individually unemployable. And the last exemption that I want to mention is the Homeowners Property Tax Assistance Program. The Homeowners Property Tax Assistance Program, years ago, it used to be called the poverty exemption, gotten away from just using the word poverty, just the negative connotations. We have to change our mindset in terms of how we're going to build ourselves back up. So the Homeowners Property Tax Assistance Program provides an opportunity for a homeowner to see a reduced or elimination of the current year property taxes based upon income or circumstance. There was a recent change in the law under Public Act 253 that was signed into law last year on December 22nd, right before Christmas, that is going to allow the Board of Review to anyone who filed and was approved in 19 or in 20 or both to receive an exemption in 21. Also, without having to refile. Also, for our seniors that are on a fixed income or homeowners that are infirmed with a disability that's receiving public assistance, they will be able to apply and receive an exemption for up to 3 years without having to reapply. I think that's going to be very important for a lot of our seniors and our disabled community, especially because it's going to take the daunting task of having to file every year for at least 3 years. It is important that we take care of our seniors and our challenged. I deal with it on an ongoing basis, and we have to understand that, again, while we all have our responsibilities, those that have either come before us or spent many years of dedicated service in whatever field they were in are due some respect. And if a person is on a fixed income and they're trying to find their way and they're a senior, we need to help them and allow them to continue their life in a respectful way. And that is, the importance of programs like this, where we can help those individuals maintain their homes and their properties without a threat of a loss. The most important part that's associated with the Homeowners Property Tax Assistance Program is that it will also make you eligible for the PAYS program. The Pay As You Stay program that was just signed into law in March of last year allows the county treasurer the ability to reduce the amount of back taxes owing to no more than 10% of the taxable value of the property. And let me kind of break that down for you. So let's say a person owes $10,000 in back taxes and they're on a fixed income of $760 a month. If you're on a fixed income of $760 a month and your property tax bill is, $1,500 a year, that extra $100 a month actually is kind of tough, because you're again dealing with the lights and gas. You may have medication that you're paying and other things. So that extra $100 a month that you're having to pay towards property taxes, especially as a senior, a lot of things that you used to do around your house that you were able to do, you can't do anymore. So now you're paying somebody, in the neighborhood or somebody to come by and take care of certain things for you. And again, you're doing all of this on a fixed income. It's a struggle. So you've gotten behind on your taxes and now you're, again, $10,000 behind and you're in threat of foreclosure. Well, getting an exemption on your property could, and so I'm going to give you some basic numbers. You owe $10,000 on the house, and let's say the taxable value of the property is $10,000. If you get an exemption on the home through the Homeowners Property Tax Assistance Program, that $10,000 in back taxes is reduced to $1,000. And then the $1,000, you will get a payment arrangement to pay on it if you cannot pay it all at one time over the course of 36 months with no interest and penalties. That is the interest and penalties is one of the biggest things that when a person falls into owing back taxes, that really makes it difficult for them to catch up is 18%. is on not just on an annual basis, it's actually kind of calculated daily. There's fees associated with it. And it actually, when those additional years come, you have to think of it as 18%, not just on the on the 1 year that you owe, is 18% on each additional year also. So it actually kind of adds up pretty quickly. A person can start off owing, $1,500, and within 3 years, that $1,500 now looks more like $4,500. It grows that quickly. So it's important that anyone, if you know, that is struggling with their property taxes, they file for the exemption process. For the PAYS program, we only have 2 more years. It sunsets in 2023. So if a person is in threat of foreclosure, they really need our help. So if you know somebody that got a yellow bag on their door, this is where they need to be. Kim, that kind of wraps it up for me, and I'll open the floor for any questions.
Hello?
Okay, Ms. Birch, can you adjust your camera? We can't see you. Okay, there you go.
I can't see him. Where did he go? Mr. Donwell?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Ms. Birch, how you doing today?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful.
Let me share something with you. It's such an excellent report, but sir, I had to do that at another meeting that you gave so much information. If people don't write down their questions by each one of the topics you talked about, they would forget. So I just suggest that sometime take a break and let somebody say any questions on that one, any question on that one. Just a little hint to you. Okay. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
here's my thing. All that you said first would be the veterans. You mentioned about what they would receive. Would that apply to the veteran spouse, the widow of that veteran?
The unremarried surviving spouse. That is correct.
Yes, you said yes.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Next, if you, what about these homes? I stay on DeQuinta. What about these homes that are in good shape, but nobody occupies them, and sometimes they're not well maintained? Who, by you all receiving the taxes, who's responsible, Mr. Donwell, to make sure they bring that home and the property up to standard like our homes are? Who does that?
So the property owner is responsible. And if there's an issue with a particular property, you can contact environmental and buildings and safety, and they can address any complaints that you have regarding any issues with if a property is not being kept up. Because what they've been pretty good about doing lately is ticketing property owners that have been leaving properties in disrepair.
Mr. Donwell, done that. You, as you said, Detroit is a large city.
Yes,
District 3 is huge with a whole lot of properties that are not upkept. And it seems to be that sometimes our people do not know how to find these people that own it. So that's the issue. And I'm just sharing with you that it's just huge problems and I say District 3 because I live here. So therefore, I don't know what go on in the other districts. I'm speaking to you today that the value, like I've been here at my home, are you the person that could put in a recommendation that if my husband who passed in 2013 and my home was paid for then, still paid for, why can't people like me at the age of 60, I'm not 60, I'm saying, why can't you all stop the taxes? Why do I need to pay property taxes on a home that I paid for over twice?
So
help me.
The short answer, Ms. Birch, is
Yes.
They won't let me. And
They
here's
won't
why.
let you.
And here's why. I've been on the board since the end of 2007, and I have been to our state legislators multiple times. So Representative Tanner, I hope you're listening to me.
Yes, that's him.
So
that's him.
Here's what it is. We've been having issues relative to people being able to afford to pay their property taxes for years.
Yes.
I fortunately had, Wendell Bird was a great advocate for me. during the time that he was in office, because he helped me get a couple of bluebacks in front of state representatives to help reduce and deal with issues regarding, especially our seniors, with dealing with property taxes. As far back as Tupac Hunter and Keith Stallworth, when they were state reps, I've had many conversations. The problem becomes when you start talking about changing state law, it is dealing with the other state representatives in the other parts of the state. And unfortunately, some individuals have a different mindset as relates to the tax responsibility. And I'm just being honest. That's exactly what I deal with on an ongoing basis.
Yep, I see your hand, Ms. Birch. You have to unmute yourself.
We are looking for state rep 3 to go and make a difference, because each representative that comes, like Wendell Bird, made a difference. We seniors now are living long, healthy lives. We got a whole lot of energy. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you can't pull the wool over our eyes. We're not treated fairly, just like the veterans are not. It's not you, it's the system. And we need to change the system. That's all I want to say. But I thank you for sharing your heart. But you just one person. I know that.
Ms. Birch, I'm just going to say this. I really have to appreciate all the things that you do and say in the community, because you tell it like it is, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But Representative Wendell Bird went to some really great lengths. If it was not for Representative Bird, he is the one who actually brought forth the pay-as-you-stay program to the state legislators. And if it was not for that program being in place right now, there are 5,022 homeowners that would have lost their homes that we have been able to save out of tax foreclosure because of the pay-as-you-stay program already. There are thousands more that we're going to be working on, but if it had not been for the work of State Representative Wendell Bird, then that program would have all been for naught, because it never would have went anywhere. He fought hard. I mean, late nights, all kinds of stuff. He fought hard to get that through.
We do. Okay, we're gonna get to a couple of more questions. We have is in the chat.
Yes. Does the Board of Review make a decision regarding a nonprofit property tax exemption application?
I don't think he can hear you.
Yes, we do. So nonprofits that would file during the March board, we do determine whether or not that nonprofit will receive a tax exemption on their property. The process is really kind of simple, just very much like any other process that the Office of Assessor brings forth. It is certain required documentation, and then we're going to review that documentation and make a determination whether or not the property qualifies for the tax exemption.
So that question is from Patricia Bosch, who's still on.
Oh, that's from Miss Bosch. Hi, Patricia Bosch. Do you want to do any follow-up to the question that you put in the group chat? You can unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Thank you for this opportunity. We really appreciate your joining us this evening. I raised the question because the nonprofit that I represent had submitted an application in 2020, but has not, and we were paid a site inspection by one of your staff people.
Edie Freeman?
I can't remember her name. It was a female. I probably have it written down somewhere, but that was, and she took pictures of the property, but we have not received a decision about the application yet.
Do you mind sharing the address?
I could do that. I want me to put it in the chat.
You can, if you don't mind saying it out loud.
I can say it right now. Yes, it's 17676 Mount Elliott. And I do have the parcel ID number
Northtown Community Development.
That's right. Uh-huh.
And just so, you know, just being honest, while I'm looking through information here in the system, the last year has been crazy for everybody. So there was just a number of things that, you know, may have gotten behind or,
It's an industrial property, and it was,
yep, yeah.
That's what made it kind of special. We put all the obsolete issues into the application. And I think the inspector noted it. And I had a second question, not related to that one, but a different property. The Northtown purchased 2 vacant lots from, I believe it was the county. And we didn't notice, but the property is listed as industrial when it's in a block of residential properties. So who would we contact about what we think is a misclassification instead of industrial, which puts us in a higher tax bracket for those property taxes? If we believe the rest of the properties in that same block are residential, who would we contact? The assessor, and who at the assessor's office? Because I think everyone is closed. It's hard to reach people.
So I'm going to, when I get done, I'm going to provide my information. Whatever questions you have, anyone will be able to contact me directly, either by phone or by email. And so same thing, even with the classification change, that falls under the purview of the Board of Review. What you're going to do is file an appeal during the assessor's review, asking for the classification change. They will then forward it to the board, and we'll look at it and say, hey, listen, this, yeah, it may have been have had a industrial building on it years ago, but it's sitting in the middle of a residential block. We'll make it, you know, if it looks right, we'll make it a change of classification to residential.
It was never built on. It's always been a vacant lot from the beginning of time. It's surrounded by 1, 2, 3 different homes, 4 different homes. It's just so that it's in an industrial area of Mount Elliott, but it's part of that historic Village of North area at Nevada and Mount Elliott.
So we'll take a look at it, and you know we'll have a stab at it, and you know come up with the proper determination on it. We'll see if we can get you to where you're trying to go with it.
And that that application is the one that has to be filed between February 1 and Valentine's Day. Am I correct?
Between the 1st and 15th, correct.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. So, and then we'll have a conversation, because I see some notes here, nothing adverse, but we'll have a conversation about the application on the, because that's going to take some time. I always like to use opportunities like this to educate property owners about what it is they have, what they're dealing with, so they fully understand the process. One of the worst things I believe that happens through any process is for a person to be a part of something and walk away scratching their head, trying to figure out what the heck just happened. So, you know, we're going to take the time, have a conversation about it. It won't be long. We'll take the time, have a conversation about it so you can understand the process.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Do we have any more questions for Mr. Downwell?
Yes, I have a question.
Hey, Pastor Griffin.
Hey, Mr. Donwell, I thank you so much for what you do for us. This man here is a mighty, mighty man, and I want to thank you for helping the residents of Detroit. I had a couple of questions. I have several seniors, members, community who have submitted applications for the homeowners taxpayer assistance exemptions for 2020, and they have not heard yet what's going on. So is that delayed? Or, a matter of fact, about the application itself, do they still require a notary since we're in a pandemic, or what can they do to just get through this application, because I've had to help many people with the application. So
So the 2020 time period is closed. The final date was December the 15th. But we did do some very, very interesting things as it relates to assisting people. So number one, we eliminated the notary process because it was just difficult last year for people to get in front of a notary, right? Social distancing, people are supposed to be able to, shelter in place, stay at home, not get out, not do things. So it just made it difficult, especially for, again, a lot of our seniors or people with an infirmity. They just were not able to, find the assistance that they needed. So we eliminated that process. All they had to do was sign the second option. For 2021, based upon the change in the state law, the State Tax Commission will now create the application. So we're just waiting on the new application to be issued by the state so that we can put it on the city's website. We'll update the income guidelines and so forth, and make sure that everything has been approved properly through city council, because it does require that whatever we do locally is, done by resolution through the local governing body, which is city council. And as soon as we get the application from the state, we'll make it available.
So what number should the people call if they're saying that they're waiting to get on the PACE program, but they're waiting to get the approval of the exemption?
So
because they're trying to get on the PACE program.
Yep. Decisions will start going out next week. We are just wrapping up a couple of things as it relates to verifying some data on the information and so forth. Again, the City of Detroit assessment roll is rather healthy. And we're getting ready to go from 20 from 20 to 21. And we're just trying to make sure that the information that is on the assessment roll is true and correct. So that, again, we try to reduce or eliminate as many issues as possible. So in doing that, we try to make sure that, citizens are always being treated fairly.
Well, your March reviews, are they going to be virtual?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so we'll be able to go on the website to I guess, request, or is it going to be in the mail? How's it going to be? Because, the mail's slow. So how we going to do it this time?
Here's the great thing about technology today, and understanding pretty much how the law works. You don't have to wait for your assessment notice to appeal your assessment.
Okay.
You do not have to wait on your assessment notice.
Wonderful.
To appeal your assessment.
Okay.
You can,
gotcha.
And on the city's website, you'll be able to very soon find the form that you can complete to submit for the assessor's review. Now, again, that's handled by the Office of the Assessor. The border reviews portion will be on the border review page in terms of once that determination is made by the assessor's office. If you still feel that you want to file to the March border review, then you can go ahead and file to the March board. And
wonderful.
Again, we'll take a stab at it. And while it probably should be a little bit more formal, the March border review in practice looks formal, but we are really more laid back than, trying to act like a real court. I think the importance is that when a property owner comes in, they are comfortable enough to be able to tell us what their real concerns and issues are so that we can find the right decision for them.
We want to thank you. Woodbridge Estates loves you.
I love you all too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think every homeowner is due respect. I think every homeowner needs to be able to find service when they're looking for it. And I think that every homeowner also has an obligation on the flip side to be able to take care of those obligations when they're presented with them. It just has to be fair.
Do you mind, Mr. Domwell, sharing your information in the group chat so that people can get a number or website that either you can be reached or they can reach out to someone?
Absolutely. So I'm going to share it in the chat, and I'm going to give it to you verbally. So it is, oops, I typed too fast. It's Willie Donwell, and my phone direct number is 313-628-2673, 313-628-2673. And my email address is donwellw@detroitmi.gov. That is donwellw@detroitmi.gov. If you have any questions concerning your property, your tax bills, whatever it might be, some of the concerns that I often hear is, hey, Mr. Donwell, why is my bank, changing my escrow on me? They're telling me that my taxes are went up, and then again, this is why it's so important that you at least go through the process at least once, because sometimes some things occur relative to other situations that we have, obligations that we have, where you'll be able to explain to them, says, nah, what you're doing is not quite accurate because my bill says this. So why are you trying to charge me this? Again, it's important that we learn and understand.
Absolutely. Thank you. Do we have any other questions for Mr. Donwell? I see a hand, but I can't see a face. That's Pat. No, I see over here in the corner. I see a flower. See somebody raise, I can't see the name.
That's
Take a look.
she's the third in the house. Pastor.
Oh, okay. Do we have any other questions or concerns for Mr. Donwell while we have him on the phone? Because I know he's probably had a very long day. Okay, well, that sounds good. Mr. Donwell, thank you so much. We really appreciate you attending the meeting and giving us all this great information. That is such a blessing. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Are you gonna hang around for a minute or do you really need to drop off?
No, I'm gonna be around a minute. I still got some work to do, so I'm just gonna sit here and listen. And if anything comes up, I'm right here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Oh, okay. There's a couple of people that I was kind of looking at the names that that didn't get acknowledgement. I see Ernest Johnson. He's on the line. Mr. Johnson, how are you? You have to take yourself off of mute.
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Got any updates for us, sir?
Well, we're gonna have it's gonna be an announcement that another Amazon gonna be at State Fair, so that's gonna be the second one on State Fair, and another 400 jobs, and so that's coming, and then it's gonna be some General Motors supplies coming in. Pretty big announcement pretty soon on the east side. People want to get close to the new plant, the suppliers. So there's a couple more announcements going to be probably made soon. But yes, that's, we just ran up these vaccinations at the center downtown that right now it's going to be 75, and if you are bringing somebody that's 75 and you 65, then both of you can take the test. If somebody bringing it, I understand today that the governor is wanting everybody 65 and up to be able to take the test. So I think as we get it wrapped up, the ages will be dropping as we can get the doses, because across the country it's a backload or a backlog or some kind of hang up and getting everybody that want to get a shot can't get a shot yet. But the mayor is organizing so that people can get it And we're gonna go with the elders first.
I have a question for you, Mr. Johnson. I have the paper that was sent to me, and they have the time on here Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I understand that it's been extended to 8 o'clock. Is that has it been extended?
I can't say for sure it's been extended to 8. I know the mayor wanted to go longer, but I can't definitely say tonight that it's extended to 8.
Okay.
But I will know in the morning. So I can let you know in the morning.
Okay. And then when you call to make the appointment, you choose prompt number 2, and that'll take you in to make your vaccine appointment, correct?
Right. And then you got to get 2 appointments. They're going to give you an appointment for your first and your second shot.
Oh.
So like if people have to go tomorrow to get a shot, then the ones that schedule tomorrow, then they go back February the 1st and get their second shot. And then, they want you to sit in your car for about 15 minutes, wear a short sleeve shirt, and, some people have to step outside the car maybe and then get back in.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be like that.
Oh.
I haven't had it, but that's the way I understand it.
Okay. Thank you. Real appreciate
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank y'all for everything you do at the 11th Precinct. Is beyond it. Doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for all that you do as well. It's all about teamwork.
That's right. Make your dream work.
Exactly.
Okay, everybody be safe though. We gotta still wear your mask because the shot, the way the mayor explained it, was that first shot that you get, it protects you 80%. And then when you get that second shot, that's when it goes up. So they was asked, because some people was asking, what happened when a person don't get the second shot but don't come back? Then they 80% protected, but they, better than not protected at all. So he's saying it's best to get both and be really protected if you get the first one.
Right.
And he didn't have both of his.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that information. Appreciate that.
Okay, you're welcome.
We have Mr. Alvin Stokes. He's the president of Citywide for the Police Community Relations. Good evening, Mr. Stokes. How are you?
Good evening, Madam Chair. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I want to wish everyone a happy new year, first of all. Through the chair, Commander Slappy, thank you so much for all you do. It's good to see you again. It's a pleasure. Just want you to know that y'all are doing a great job despite this virus that's going around. Now, I have no idea, I've not heard anything about the citizens not being able to contact the officers. That's news to me. There's information on the city website as far as the NPO's number. There's information on the city's website for the commander's number, for the precinct. So I don't know where that came from, but it's hard to believe. Now, as far as the jobs that the NPOs do, from my understanding, the NPO's job is for quality of life issues. That's what they're supposed to be dealing with. Now, in case of an extreme emergency, yes, they can step in if it's a life-threatening situation, but they deal with quality of life issues. If there's anything that's reported to them, then they have to report it to someone else, from abandoned houses to drug houses to racing in the street to anything other than quality of life. They have to report it to someone else for it to be taken care of. We need to let the citizens know, Commander, as far as the how they dispatch cars. We understand that the top priority is for life-threatening situations. Now, someone may report.
That is true.
Someone may report.
That is true, sir.
Go ahead.
That is true. When a citizen makes the phone call into the 911 system, the precincts have to wait until it comes in through the 911 caller. That 911 taker then filters the call to the actual dispatcher for each precinct. That dispatcher then has a roster of the cars that are available for each precinct for that particular tour of duty. And as they are available, they will dispatch a car. They are done in priority. Obviously, if we have violence, shootings, robberies, home invasions, and things of that nature, they are definitely taken into a priority rotation, because definitely preservation and saving someone's life is number one. I do give my number to anyone who want it. When I was the captain at number 10, where I met you, sir, I always answer my phone. I have citizens who call me at 2:00 in the morning. I answer. But I always say I can't help if I don't know. And even when I do know, we still do the best we can. I do the best with the resources that we have. Number 11 is not unique to the point where we are crime free, because unfortunately, citizens in the city decide to commit crime. But again, we do everything we can. And one thing I want everyone to know is that Commander Slappy and no other member on the Detroit Police Department, we do not fudge numbers. That is not what we do. I do not make numbers or adjust numbers to accommodate what I want them to be. The numbers are not created by me. That's a whole nother data system. And I literally open up my emails first thing in the morning and periodically throughout the night. And I see what the numbers are. I don't capture numbers, I report the numbers. So please have confidence to know that any information that I put forth is always as accurate to the last set of numbers that I have. As a commander, I think I do have a right to be proud of the men and women in the Detroit Police Department, because they do work hard. We are first responders. Through this pandemic, we come. And we're proud to come. They work overtime. We have not stopped for the most part. The only thing we've kind of slowed down on is the community events, because we know number 11 is a huge community event oriented precinct. But we are still duty bound to try to do everything we can to protect our officers, because guess what? They are people too. We are on them to wear their mask. We do everything we can to protect ourselves, because as first responders, if we're not protected, then we can't come and help you in your time of need. So I will never, ever be embarrassed, ashamed, or anything like that to brag upon the men and women, not only at the 11th Precinct, but for the Detroit Police Department as a whole, because we are one team. I've been on this department for 24 years. And I've worked hard for 24 years to get to the spot where I am. I've been a supervisor since 2001, and I'm gonna pat myself on the back a little bit, because I think I'm pretty good at managing people and managing situations. I wouldn't be sitting in this seat if I was not able to do so. So with that, again, are we perfect? No. But I do take pause when my character and the character of the men and women on this department and 11th Precinct is questioned as it relates to us doing anything that is improper and out of order, because that is not how we operate as a department. And definitely I would never tolerate that as the commander of this precinct.
Thank you, ma'am. Through the chair. As president of Citywide Citizens Police Community Relations, I'm aware of a lot of things that are happening within the city of Detroit, and crime is up. Not just in 11, crime is up all over. I'm the president of number 10. Homicide has doubled since last year in number 10. So, you know, I know we've had CompStat meetings. Now, Commander, from my understanding, Wayne State will no longer be doing CompStat. So I will ask you and the president to work together and see if you could either do it during your community meeting or have a separate meeting for CompStat to know where the major crimes are that's happening within your precinct. I'm sure y'all will work it out. But you know, things are happening so fast here in the city, and y'all do what you do. And y'all are first responders. You can't stay home during this pandemic. And for that, I want to thank you personally. Now, the citizens are the eyes and ears of the police department. They are supposed to report the crimes that they see. But you have to remember, there is a process. And if the officer is out of line, they're going to go see Commissioner Birch. They're going to end up on that board as far as a disciplinary action. And that's not where we want them to be. So there is a process. There is everybody has to be accountable to someone. And we don't want our officers to be out there put in harm's way to do something that's going to jeopardize their job or their life. There's through the chair, there's a bill or there's something that's been approved where if an officer is standing by while another officer is misconducting themselves, both officers can be charged. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they're not going to put themselves out there in danger or allow their partner to do something that's going to jeopardize themselves. So listen, let's support our police department, and just remember, you have a district manager for your district. Get them involved in what you're doing also, not just the police. Your district manager has the authority to get a lot of things done within your precinct, from finding out who owns that abandoned house next door or down the street, who owns that lot, from picking up illegal dumping, from reporting a lot of stuff that y'all give to the police department, you can give to your district manager. Madam Chair, I don't want to take up all the time, but thank you for that time. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate all the information. Thank you so much. I have also, and I'm sorry, I think I have Joanne Williams. I don't know. I think you might have had your hand up. My apologies. I did look over you. So you can ask your question if you have any.
No, that was an old, raised my hand a long time ago, but I think the officers do a great job. You know, I call them and I don't have any problem getting out here. But I have talked to some of the seniors in the area, and they're afraid to call the police. They're afraid the retaliation they'll get. And a lot of them, they'll go to a particular person and they expect that person to try to do everything for them. So a lot of times, one person may call in, but they're calling in for someone else, because the seniors, especially the seniors, they're afraid of these people around here that are, and it's usually a lot of people that are moving in. Mm-hmm. It's not those that have been here a long time. It's those that are coming in to the neighborhoods that are creating the big problems.
And you know what, Joy, so if you would like to give them my email address, if they send me something, I will send it off, but I keep it undercover. I do not disclose anybody's name. So if I get emails, which I do, I get a lot, I do forward them over to our officers. So if you got, and they will distribute it from there. So they're more than welcome. If if they don't feel comfortable, they can get my email address, send me an email. And then once I present it to our MPOs, they will distribute it where it needs to go. That's what I'm here for. So if they don't feel comfortable, please feel free to share my email address.
Sure, thank you.
And you can give them my phone number and they can call me direct. And I'll give it to you, ma'am. If you don't
Okay.
have it, let me know when you're ready to copy. It's
I'm
313
ready. Mhm.
313
Okay.
410 5533. I'll repeat it again. 313 410 5533.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Also, I see Mr. Williams from the Detroit Public Schools. I see you online. Thank you for coming out this evening.
Thank you for having me. We really appreciate the invite, and we look forward to being at all the meetings that we can attend.
Okay.
We know that this is a tough time for technology, for the school, for the kids. So we have created technology hubs. We know a lot of the students are having trouble with their computers. So the parents can take the computers to these technology hubs. So we have one at Persian. We have a technology hub. It's open from Monday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it's open Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we would just like for you to share this information with the parents and with the students, that they're having any trouble of getting online, that they could go to these hubs and they'll be able to assist them. They can either get a loaner computer while we're fixing their computer. But the main thing is we don't want them to miss any instruction time. Okay. We also have grab and go meal sites. They're up and running Mondays through Thursdays, 9 to 6 p.m. We offer breakfast and lunch. And we have a mental health and homework hotline that I'm going to put the number in the chat. And that's available Monday through Fridays from 5 to 8 p.m. We also have our Parent Academy, which I will share the number in the chat. And a lot of the parents and the students have been asked the main question of when we get back to school. And that's the question that everybody wants answered. Right now, the infection rate is 9.4% statewide, and it's 7.1% in Detroit. So with the agreement between the Detroit Public Schools Community District and the union, it's 5%. So once it reaches 5%, then we will resume in-person learning. So there will be a survey that will be given out next Wednesday. So if you know parents, just let them know to be checking for their email. And on that survey, they will check which one they prefer, if they prefer in-person instruction or they prefer online instruction. So probably at the next meeting, I will have more information as far as when it will be all online instruction. But our goal is to try to resume in-person instruction by mid-February. So hopefully by mid-February, we will offer the instruction that we had at the beginning of the year, where the parents and students have the option of either coming to the school or either staying at home.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
Thank
so any
you.
questions from anybody?
Yes, any questions? Thank you for that information.
No problem. I will put those numbers in the chat. So, and I'll put my email in the chat if you have any questions that you want to email me later.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do we have, before we get into our raffle, I want to raffle off 3 gift cards this evening. But before we get to that, are there any other questions anyone would like to ask? Are there any concerns that anyone like to bring up? Okay, I don't see any hands. If I miss you, if I don't see your face, can you make a motion? Because I do see a name. If you make a motion, I can call you out, but I don't see anything. We're gonna go once. And I mean, we can always do it after the fact as well, but I wanna get into our gift card raffles. I have 3 $10 Visa cards that I would like to raffle off. So we have the names. We had 21 people to register. So I'm gonna go in. Sergeant Smith, if you'd like to pull at least one of them for me. Okay, let's see, number one. Oh my God, y'all are tiny these. Woo. We have Joanne Williams. You have a $10 gift card. I have your name here. Okay, sorry. Okay, next one. Good night. Okay. Oh, she's not on the line. Debaja?
Oh, right, she just hung up, she had an overseas call.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get in touch with her.
We'll get, okay. Okay, we have one more. And our next one, our last one, I should say. We have Diane Austin. So you three have won a $10 gift card. I will reach out to each one of you to see how you want to grab your card. I don't have a problem with putting them in the mail. I can do that, but I will reach out to you to find out how would you like me to handle that. But each one of you ladies have won a gift card. For next month's meeting, I know a lot of people don't like the registering thing, but I want to do a Nest doorbell. And I don't know any other way to do it fairly, but to register for that. I know you guys are going to choke me, but we may have to go through this one more time so that I'm able to raffle off the Nest doorbell that I have. So I would like to do that next meeting as well. So that's what we're going to raffle off next meeting. We get down to our good news segment. Is there any good news anyone would like to share? Is that a hand that I see over there? Any good news? Going once?
Ken Scott.
Ken Scott, okay. We have Mr. Scott. Good evening, Ken. How are you?
Good afternoon. Good evening. How are you all doing?
Great, great, sir. Thank you.
My good news is coming from the 12th Precinct and knowing your president, Kim Jackson, for a long time and all the work that she puts in. That my good news is that she's doing a marvelous job for not only you, but the city of Detroit at large.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Scott. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're here to help. And that's what, to me, and I always say this, at the end of the day, we are all still the city of Detroit. I don't care how you shake it up in the bag. I don't care what side of town you go on, because if I get somebody say they can't do something, I'm like, hold on, I think I know that president. Let me refer you to where you need to go. So I just think that we all have to work together. I don't care what side of town you on. We just have to be together. So that's my goal. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I see Miss Commissioner Birch's hand.
That's Sonoria Luckett.
No, that's Miss Birch's hand right there. Oh, you see, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did she? Okay, so okay, Miss Birch, take yourself off mute, and Sonora Luckett, we'll get to you right afterwards. Sorry about that.
Okay, I took myself off.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, I wanted to congratulate all the team members that are circulating the respect and love where you live signs throughout District 3. They are going up all over and even on the west side. So thank you to all the volunteers. And I want everybody to know I've met a new friend for 2021. That is Pastor Yvette Griffin. I never met that lady, but God did that. We are now on the same one accord of improving our city and especially District 3. That is Yvette Griffin. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. There you go. You take yourself off of mute, Miss Luckett.
Okay. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, Kim, I just wanted to ask you, what is your email address?
It is KIMJ 4267@gmail.com.
Okay. And Commander Slappy, are you still on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time. We've been with COVID and everything. I know. I just want to, it's some issues that we're having over here, and I would like to call you personally and have a chat with you, if possible.
Yes, ma'am.
Anytime is, what's a good time for us to?
It's up to you. Did you want to do it after this call, or did you want to do it tomorrow?
We can do it after the call. I have your number.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be looking forward to your call.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kim.
Yep, absolutely. Anyone else? Is there any questions? Are there any concerns? We still have Mr. Donwell on. I believe we still have State Rep Cherie Tanadar on. So are there any other questions anyone needs to bring up, or just any questions in general? Okay, I see Mr. Stokes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through the chair, I just want the citizens to know, and Ms. Lockett, I'm not talking about you now, but your line of order as far as your first of contact should be your NPO. Anything that gets to the commander, then that means somebody didn't do their job. It should never get to the commander or to the captain. It should be taken care of at the NPO level or by the sergeant of the NPO. Now, if it makes it to the commander, I'd like to know about it, because that means somebody dropped the ball.
All right. Okay. Yes, I see. Thank you, Mr. Stokes, for that. I see Pastor Griffin.
Thank you. I think you're running the meeting very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alvin Stokes, did you go to Mumford High School? Just wanted to know.
Take yourself off mute.
Did you attend Mumford High School?
Hold on, we're going to take him off of mute. Give us 1 second.
Okay. And then I want to say, I wanted to make a comment about Mr. Stokes' comment regarding concerns going to the NPO or going to the commander or the captain and stating that somebody didn't do their job. That's not necessarily true, because we've had several issues that went directly to the commander. However, the NPOs knew about it, but it took the action of a captain or a commander to be able to ensure that it got taken care of. So I don't agree with that statement, but it's okay. But I believe Alvin Stokes went to Mumford High School with me. So I can say that.
Pastor Griffin, I'm surprised at you.
And look, for me to still recognize you.
I didn't go to Mumford. You know me from Dexter Avenue.
Is that where it is?
That's where it is, Pastor.
But you went to high school too, so we do know each other then. Okay, I got you. But I thought it was from Mumford. But it's from Dexter Avenue. That's even better.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Pastor Griffin, I'm a proud Mustang myself, class of 84.
Yay. Yes. Well, that makes a difference, Commander. We know what Mustangs do. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Mr. Deacon Stokes, that's probably what it is. I don't agree with that statement you made, okay? And I'll talk to you offline.
Okay.
Well, let me say, my NPOs do a great job, but as a person, I have an open door and an open phone policy. So I give my phone number to everybody, Mr. Stokes. I appreciate the sentiment, because some commands do have a chain of command. So on that part, you are correct, sir. But I operate a little outside the box, and I allow any citizen who have an issue or concern. That's why I give my number out. So I've opened that door for people to call me. So
Well, thank you, Commander.
All right, any other questions? It's the 7:55. Do we have any other questions or concerns or any? I see Commissioner Birch. Take yourself off mute.
I wanted to say to Mr. Stokes, I've never had a conversation. Would you be so kind to get my number from Miss Jackson and call me? Could you do that?
Take yourself off of mute, Mr. Stokes.
I'll be more than happy to, Commissioner.
Very good. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right, so thank you, everyone. I appreciate everyone for joining on social media, on Zoom tonight. Thank you to Mr. Downwell, our guest speaker, for giving us such great information tonight. I really appreciate that. I thought that's good information to help all of us, even to share in the community, because people don't know. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And you just always make yourself available. You've always been a genuine person. And all I can do is say thank you. I really appreciate it. So if nothing else is to be said, no hands are raised. It is now 7:57. And I want to say have a good evening, everyone. Have a safe evening, everyone. And we will see you next month. I did send out the calendar again for our community meeting. So the next meeting will be February the 9th. So if you can, please try to attend. I know you guys are going to choke me, but I do want to give out that Nest doorbell. So I may have to have you register this last time so that you guys can, so I can be fair to give out this, to give out the Nest doorbell. So thank you everybody for attending. I appreciate it and stay safe.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.